Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey and I'm here today with a new vlog.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
So right now it is February 1st and that means it's time for some steamy reads. So for this vlog, I want to read 4 books and 1 novella to start off my Valentine's Day on the right foot. And what better way to do that than by getting, you know what I mean? Listen, we're all adults here, right? So the first book I will be reading and the one I started today on audio is A Duke by Default by Alyssa Cole. I love Alyssa Cole. I think she does romance so well. When I thought of the idea for this vlog, I knew that I had to get into the second installment in the Royals series, or the Reluctant Royals series. I read A Princess in Theory November of last year, maybe September, and I knew I wanted to finish off the series, so decided to pick this one up. So the first book follows a woman named Letty who is kind of contacted by this prince because she is his betrothed. This one follows Letty's best friend Portia. She is a New York City socialite who kind of wants to like revamp her life and get more serious about which direction her future is going. And so because of this, Portia decides to take on an apprenticeship at this kind of like armory sword making thing in Scotland. So Tavish Mackenzie doesn't really need this spoiled American girl to tell him how to run his armory, even if she is infuriatingly good to look at. So I know I'm going to enjoy this. I already really enjoy Portia as a main character. As of now, I think I've only listened to 2 chapters about, so not much has happened. They kind of had this interesting meet cute where Portia pepper sprays him in the face. So, you know, just beautiful romance. Along with that, I also wanted to start Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. So that's one of my Kindle romances. And would it be a reading romance vlog if I didn't include one of Chandler Ainsley's favorite books? I think not. So here we have Punk 57 that follows a boy named Misha and a girl named Ryan who started off as pen pals when they were like in grade 5, and over the course of 7 years really bonded because of it. After Misha finds Ryan online, the story kind of takes off. Ryan doesn't know if Misha's not writing to her anymore. Misha kind of wants to go down this path of finding her. All I know about this is that it is a bully romance. I don't think I've read many bully romances. I think I read one by LJ Shen last year or the year before, probably 2019, because I remember reading it on a bus, which I haven't taken in a year and a half, but I don't remember if I quite liked it. I think I was really frustrated by this kind of dynamic, so I'm hoping that Penelope Douglas will kind of change my mind on this. As for the rest of the books in this reading blog, I will just talk about them as we go along. So welcome, hope you enjoy, update you when I update you. So it is now Wednesday, February 3rd. So about 2 days after I've started this vlog, and I want to mention that I am 200 pages into A Duke by Default by Alyssa Cole. I don't know if I really spoke about this, but this is about Portia, and she moves to Scotland in order to take on an apprenticeship with this man named Tavish Mackenzie. Tavish McKnight would have been too cheesy, I think. And he works and owns an armory at this like medieval castle, and like Portia's an apprentice there. And at this point in the story, something is revealed that a certain character is a duke, and honestly it came as a surprise to me, even though this is the title. I was like, okay, wasn't expecting that because I'm stupid. I'm really enjoying it, much like I love all of Alyssa Cole's romances. I think she has real talent for writing really interesting main characters who have like really vibrant personalities, and they are like strong women. And what I mean by strong women is that they like have their own personalities and the story isn't really revolved around the romance, although technically it is, but more often than not it's kind of around these women finding themselves and really coming into their own personalities that I really enjoy about the books. I think it adds a super interesting layer to the books, and the romance is kind of like sprinkles on top. I am also 150 pages into Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. So this one follows two main characters, Ryan and Misha, and they were kind of like pen pals when they were children. And so at this point in the story, Misha and Ryan are going to the same high school, but Ryan doesn't know that Misha is like her bully at school, but Misha knows that this is the Ryan that he's been sending these letters to. So he's intentionally bullying her, kind of because she's not who he expected, and she's like a popular cheerleader bully at school, and he's kind of like giving her a taste of her own medicine, but he also knows that underneath her kind of fake personality, the girl that he's been in love with his whole life is there. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if it's because I'm getting my period next week, but it made me cry yesterday, and I don't even think it was like a sad scene. I think I am just sad.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I think I'm just sad all the time, and any sort of like angsty moment in a book is gonna overwhelm me with emotions. So that's how it's going for me. I'm going to continue reading. So today I got 50 more pages into the books, and I am listening to it on audio. So I don't know if I'm going to continue this really tonight. I might just like buckle down and finish Punk 57 because I think I only have like 200 pages left about. So either I'll finish it or I'll have like a little amount to finish to tomorrow. So keep you updated. So I just finished Punk 57 and I loved it, and I don't know how I'm feeling right now. First of all, this book made me cry so much. I don't know if it's the book or if it's just, you know, the way COVID be hidden lately, but I think this book had a lot of tropes that I really enjoy. First of all, a musician. We love it. I also really enjoyed the conversations that this book had, basically about like sticking true to yourself and like finding real friends who appreciate you and love you. And I think the main character, although she was like a super shitty person, I think her journey in the book was really important, and it kind of reminded me of myself. And like if you watch my videos, like a lot of these like young flawed women remind me a lot of myself, and I end up relating to them a lot more than I expect to, and that's what makes me cry in the books. So I ended up giving this a 4 stars. It's definitely a bully romance and definitely a new adult romance, so I think if you're not used to the tropes that come with that genre, then it could get some getting used to. I'm not even sure if it would be something that everybody enjoys. I just love when two people love each other so much that they hate each other. That just really like warms my heart, you know? Like I think that's so sweet. I don't know. I'd say the one thing that I'm noticing, and I don't know if it's a Penelope Douglas thing, because the last book I remember doing this was in Birthday Girl by her, and I just don't get this like epilogue where it's like 5, 10, whatever years later, and the characters are like in love and one of them's pregnant, and we have to like just basically see that they're happy. Like I get it, you know, we're at the end of the book. I get that they're happy, that they're gonna be together forever. Like I don't need an epilogue, and I think that's the one thing in romance novels that really throws me off. And I think particularly for this book, I was really enjoying it the whole time. I don't think it was like a full 5 stars the whole time, but you know, I could have given it a 4.5. I think it was that enjoyable. There were just like some scenes that were like a bit off for me. But then this epilogue came. I understand that some people really enjoy happy endings and kind of like to see that clarification at the end, but for me it just seemed cheesy, and that's on me. I can't really fault the book for that. Ended up being very surprised by this book. I didn't enjoy Birthday Girl that much from the same author, so I was wondering if I was even gonna like Punk 57, if I was even gonna like Penelope Douglas as an author in general. Maybe I'll read more from her in the future. She's definitely an author I'm not totally canning now that I've read this book and really enjoyed it. So I have a couple of ideas for the next book I'm gonna read. So like I said before, I'm still listening to the audiobook of A Duke by Default, and this will probably be my audiobook for the week, so I'm gonna try to get in more physical reading. On my TBR now, we read Punk 57. I have Get a Life, Chloe Brown, then Harvest of Sighs, and The AI Who Loved Me. The AI Who Loved Me is a novella. I think I could keep that for like a night where I'm not really feeling like reading, and I could just like bang out a book because it's like 100 something pages. So we're in between Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and A Harvest of Sighs. Honestly, A Harvest of Sighs is like pure erotica, and I'm still mad at the second book, which was Feast for Crows. Is that the name of the book, or was that the Game of Thrones? Feast of Sparks. So not like Game of Thrones at all. If you watched my worst books of the year video, spoiler alert, it was the #1 book on that list because I absolutely despise the ending. I think it was one of the shittiest endings I've ever read in my whole entire fucking life, and one of the worst twists I've ever read in my whole life. And I don't know if I want to relive that just yet. I know it will happen this week, but I don't know if I could relive that just yet. So I'm deciding to go with Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I've heard that this is really cute and really fun, and I think that's just what I need. Like, this book really Punk 57 made me cry too much, and I don't know if I can deal with angst and anger all over again, you know? Like, sometimes you just want to smile when it comes to romance. So here we go. This is the next book I'm reading. Welcome to a new day. I haven't updated in probably 2 days. I'm sorry, but I do have some fun updates. So I believe I updated on Punk 57, and at the same time as Punk 57, I was reading A Duke by Default, and essentially up until where I spoke to you last, that Tavish Mackenzie, the love interest in the book, is a duke. And so essentially the last half of the novel is Portia and Tavish kind of navigating this new lifestyle and their relationship now that there is this added element of royalty in it. So I ended up giving this a 3 stars just because I wasn't as invested in the romance as in A Princess in Theory. Not because Portia and Tavish don't have like an interesting story, because they do, but I just feel like there were a lot of things that felt missing in this book. There is definitely a chemistry between Tavish and Portia, but again, I feel like it was a bit heavy-handed and more kind of a force of circumstance rather than a natural feeling of a romance. And because of that, I just wasn't like completely invested in their relationship. Like, they were cute and Portia was a really great main character. There's also this like kind of subplot about Portia realizing that she might have ADHD, which I think was super interesting, something that I have been thinking and considering lately as well, and I think that that was an interesting rep in the novel. And in addition to that, there are a lot of really interesting side characters, one of them being Portia's sister Reggie, who has her own novella. It is a shorter book. It's one of Alyssa Cole's novellas, so I'll probably read that just because I just finished this that really showcased Portia and Reggie's relationship. Like I said, this book does a lot of good, but I think I just couldn't get behind their romance. I don't know if it's because of Tavish as a main character. I just didn't really jive with him, although I probably would have jived with him and his accent in real life. And I think another element is that I listened to this on audio and I don't feel like the Scottish accents were as well done as they could have been, and I think occasionally it really pulled me out of the story. So yeah, 3 stars for this one. Right now I am currently about 240 pages into Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I'm not sure if I spoke about this one, so I'll go right ahead and do so. Chloe Brown is a chronically ill computer nerd, and when she almost dies in this like car accident, she decides to make a list where she essentially gets a life. Some of the things include enjoy a drunken night out, ride a motorbike, go camping, have meaningless but thoroughly enjoyable sex. Circumstances align that put Chloe Brown with her superintendent Red Morgan as they kind of tackle this list together, and you can guess what's gonna happen. But so far, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. This is the first time I've read kind of this rom-commy feel from Talia Hibbert. I did read Merry Inkmas by her in December and I didn't enjoy it too much. It was a solid 3-star novella, and this one so far is looking like a 3.5. There have been some discussions about an emotionally manipulative relationship on both of their sides, so that representation has been really interesting to me, and I think it really demonstrates how past relationships affect the way you feel about yourself and the way that you speak and the way that you handle communication, and I'm really loving that in the book. So yeah, we'll definitely be continuing this today, and we'll see how far I get. Hello, new day, same location. I'm always updating you guys from my bed, but this is where I like to be in the home. So I did end up finishing Get a Life Chloe Brown, and I'm kind of undecided about where I fall. Either a 3 or 3.5 stars. This book, while being under 400 pages, still took me what I consider a long time to read it, which is like about 4 or 5 days. And that's a super long time for me in regards to how fast I read. And I think that partially that is due to the fact that I just wasn't really invested in Chloe and Red's relationship. I really enjoyed Chloe as an individual character, and I really enjoyed Red as an individual character, especially because Red dealt with some emotional abuse from his previous relationship, which if you've been watching my vlogs, you'll know that that is like kind of a buzzword for me. I really enjoy reading characters' experiences that reflect those of my own, so the parts that I tabbed are the ones where he mentions how he dealt with it, and I really appreciated that representation. Chloe also has fibromyalgia, and I think that the way it was handled in the book was really good, but I obviously can't speak for the representation. And they were like super cute, but that's it. Like that's all I can really say. Like Red was super nice, Chloe was super like nice. They were both nice. That's it. It was just a solid romance read. I think I went into this expecting a lot because a lot of people give this book 5 stars, and especially the other books in the Brown Sisters trilogy are highly regarded, and so I think I was kind of expecting to give this book a 5 stars and fall in love with it like everybody else did, and it just didn't do that for me. I will definitely be picking up more from this series because the next one follows Chloe's sister Danny, who is bisexual and into like making potions. I don't know, that's what it says at the end of the book, and she just sounds super interested to pick her book up, especially because a lot of people said that her book was better than Chloe's, and even those that enjoyed Chloe's book also said the same thing, that Danny's is a lot more solid. So I'm really looking forward to that. Then yesterday I read about 40 pages of Harvest of Sighs by Sierra Simone, and if you watched my worst books of 2020, then you'll know that my #1 worst book of the year was the book that came before this one. And so I'm going into this like super cautiously because, as I mentioned in that video, I really enjoy Sierra Simone's writing. I really think she has an addictive writing style that really pulls you in as a character and like keeps you along for the ride 100%. Like her books are 400 pages and I feel like I breeze through them, like they're so easy to read. But I also want to take into consideration that she did such a shitty thing in the last book. I won't get into spoilers in this vlog, but I do spoil it in my worst book, so if you want to know, you can go watch it there. I'm more apprehensive now because of it, and like I feel like I might not enjoy this book because I'm like cautiously reading and like worried about things. Anyways, the 40 pages I read yesterday had nothing to do with the characters in question that I'm talking about, and it is like a historical scene. It takes place in the 1800s. Not much has happened in regards to the characters that I know, so we'll see where this goes. Like I said, Sierra Simone's writing is compulsively readable, so I can see myself really getting into it, diving in, probably finishing it tonight. Then I do have one book left on my TBR, which is The AI Who Loved Me, and I believe that that one is from Alyssa Cole, and it's a short novella, so I'm thinking I might also read that today in between Harvest of Sighs and editing my January wrap-up part 2. So looking forward to the night ahead, and I'll see you later. Bye! So sorry I haven't updated in a while. It's just hard to find time to vlog when other people are like in the house. Like I just feel rude vlogging. So I hope this vlog isn't like super boring. I say this every time I vlog just because I like don't know what to vlog and I forget to vlog like b-roll footage. So it's literally just me updating you from this bed all the time. So apologize for that. So since we last spoke, I'm pretty sure I updated you on Chloe Brown. So now today I just finished The AI Who Loved Me by Alyssa Cole. So this one follows a woman named Trinity Jordan, and she lives in this like high tech kind of, it's like in a dystopian future. Basically there's this thing called the Hive, and it's like government run, I guess. People like work for the Hive, and if you work for the Hive, you live in this like Hive building basically. And Jordan is kind of like recovering from what we think is this like bombing that she experienced, so she's really like scared to go into elevators and like leave the home, essentially leave the apartment building. And across the hallway from her, her neighbor Dr. Zhang, her nephew, is staying with her for the time being. And so like Trinity and this nephew Li Wei and her kind of strike up this friendship because they're both recovering from accidents where they don't really remember what happens. Their bodies are still recovering from it, essentially. And so like by the title, you could probably guess what happens in this book. And I thought it was like super cute and super interesting. If you know things I like in my sci-fi, I love AI stories. Like I find artificial intelligence and the fact that they are becoming more human super interesting, and like discussing this idea, like, are they human? Do they deserve rights? Like, what makes us human? What makes us different? Are we even different? That kind of thing is super fascinating to me. So while I was reading this romance novel, I was like totally engaged because I'm like, holy shit, is sci-fi romance the shit I need? Because I was like, this is captivating, baby. And then I don't know why I've been reading so many books with this trope lately, but essentially like this, I can only describe it as like an Anastasia love story kind of thing. Like basically it was in Lifelike by J. Kristoff, Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, and now this book by Alyssa Cole. And it's this like trope for love that I really don't like I find it's not my cup of tea. So when this story started going in that direction and it was all revealed and all this shit was like happening, I was like, ugh. I feel like the love story could have been done better. Like it just didn't, like it just doesn't have to happen. Like this trope, I just don't understand why it happens because it doesn't need to happen. Like I'm gonna put spoilers here because I really want to talk about this trope because it annoys me so much, but I don't want to spoil this novella or Daughter of Smoke and Bone or Lifelike by J. Kristoff. So you've been warned. If you don't want to know what type of love this is, skip ahead. But essentially it's this love story where both characters forget that they were in love with the character that they are falling in love with again. So like basically both of them or one of them doesn't remember the other person, but they have this like breathtaking love story. Like they defied all odds to be together. I just don't understand it because usually like it's either one or both of the characters that don't remember each other, right? So why can't they just fall in love with someone else? Especially if both of them don't remember. Why give them their memories back? Like why does this have to be a part of the plot? But they don't remember. Like how could they possibly fall in love with the same person again? And every time there's always a scene where the people get their memories back and they're like, oh my god, I can't believe I forgot about my love. But it's like, you did though. Like how can you have a whole other life without this person? Do we suddenly forget about that life, all these experiences that you've had? Can't relate, I guess. Like I get what it is. Like it's this great love story, and like I said, they've defied all odds and it's like amazing and they found each other again. But like I don't know, I just think it's stupid. Like you forgot about each other, so just like let's move on, let's have another interesting love story. I don't know.
And finally, sometimes Capricorn tends to look at the gloomy side of things rather than the lighter side of things.
So that's what this book did, and I had to lower my rating because of it, because it just annoys me, and I'm sorry to Alyssa Cole, please forgive me. But other than that, I loved, like I said, the AI aspects of the story, and I liked the story before this plot device was used. So I'm giving it a 3.5 stars. Definitely my favorite read so far of this vlog, so that's great. And now I am 72 pages into Harvest of Sighs by Simone. Not much has happened, but they're talking about what happened, yet there is still sexual tension, and I'm just very uncomfortable right now. The parts with Rebecca and Delphine are amazing, love them, love my sapphic bitches. Parts with Aiden or Auden, whatever, however you pronounce the name, and Saint Sebastian are questionable, and I just don't know how to feel. I'm stopped at a part where they're like together and I'm just really incapable of reading this comfortably. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I finish this relatively soon, so I could be out of this cringy state. Hello! I realized that I never updated you guys. Oh my gosh. My makeup.
Sorry for the background noise. My boyfriend was taking a shower and it was very loud. My apologies.
So I'm just sitting here trying to finish the last of the books I'm reading for this vlog, which is Harvest of Sighs by Simone. I am 158 pages and the nonsense, the brotherly nonsense is still going on. Don't understand why we have to read about their erections touching. This like, are they, aren't they incest? Like, I'm not having it. I might read, let's say 100 pages more. Like, maybe I'll get to page 250. I don't know. I hate DNFing. It's one thing that I really despise doing, but I think I might try reading a bit more of this. And if it doesn't pull me in, like, let's say the nonsense continues, whatever. But because I don't actually think Sarah Simone is going down the route that she ended the second book with. Like, I just don't think that's happening for real. But it's more like I just don't feel like reading this book, and it's really like putting me in a bit of a reading slump, honestly. So we'll see how it goes. I just made brownies and I'm very excited to eat them. She's just not calling to me, you know? Like, A Lesson in Thorns was so good, and A Feast of Sparks was really good until the last like 50 pages or so, which was just bullshit. And so now it just left like such a dirty taste in my mouth, and I should have known not to read this right away, and I did. And now I don't know what to do. So I'm here to do a final wrap up of this vlog, which was not interesting at all. I barely updated, but that is the struggle, and I will post this anyways because I am trying to gain confidence. So let's go, baby. The final book I read in this vlog, as you saw, was Harvest of Sighs by Sarah Simone. We'll get right to it. I gave it 2 stars. 1 star was purely because I loved the female-female relationship in this. I loved the explorations that they had. I loved how they discussed and traversed their ever-changing relationship from when they were younger. They didn't really like each other to now where they are actually in love. So love that. Gave the book a star for that. Right on point. Really good. 1 star, I guess, was for the, I don't know, interesting, kinky sex ritual shit that this book has, which was fascinating, interesting, kind of not really developed in this one. So I couldn't really give it more stars than that. So this book, the spoiler, at the end of book 2, and the reason it made my worst books, was not resolved in this book like I had previously thought. I thought I was going to go into this book and either they were just not going to be what they are and what they are revealed to be at the end of book 2, or they were going to learn to develop a relationship in the manner that they currently are. Hopefully I'm explaining this without spoilers, but anyways, and they were neither, and it was really weird. Some of my friends about what was going on in the book, and I think we all, as a consensus, agreed that what is the purpose? Like, this book is not getting a 1 star only because of the sapphic FF romance in this book that I love, and that's it. Like, Prosperina, who cares about her? Beckett, I guess he had an interesting storyline, sure. Poe's dad and Rebecca's dad, great relationship, cute as fuck, loved it. The book had nothing else to offer. I don't feel like the plot developed in any fucking sort of way at all. And though I say all of this, and you think that I hated this reading experience, which I did, but I kind of want to read book 4. I mean, I'm 3 books in, you know? I kind of want to know. I kind of want to know how this ends. It's keeping me interested enough. But I swear to God, if all these characters are related, I'm going to scream. So let's summarize what I read this week then, shall we? The first book I read was Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. I originally gave this a 4 stars, but I think I'm going to bring it down to a 3.5 just because of the other books I read this week and how I felt about them and how I felt like they were better written books than Punk 57. I'm gonna lower my rating there. The high rating that I'm giving it is purely because of the angst. I think Penelope Douglas did a fantastic job with the angst, with the characters and their storyline, and that really pulled me in. Plus the smut was great. Then we have A Duke by Default by Alyssa Cole, which I also gave you 3.5 stars. While this was more of a like slow burn, slower novel than let's say Punk 57, this book was also like really cute. I didn't feel like the relationship was as developed as I wanted them to be. They were just not characters I particularly wanted to read from, but Alyssa Cole is one of my favorite romance authors. I really enjoyed this one, and I would still recommend it if, first of all, you want to read the Reluctant Royal series. I think it's a great series overall, and I think she always writes like super cute romances. Her female leads are always really empowering. In this one, we have Portia, who describes herself as a bit of a mess, but we learned that she is dealing with ADHD and how her life changes because of that, and I thought that that was really inspiring as well. Then I read Get a Life Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert, which I gave 3 stars. I really enjoyed this one, but I think it just wasn't at the level of romance that I was expecting for this week. I think this one was really soft and quieter than what I needed. I also didn't really care for Chloe nor Red as characters. I just wasn't into their romance, and I think you can see it by the vlog. It took me quite a bit of time to read this book, and usually when a 300 to 400 page book takes me more than a couple of days to read, I know that my heart is not fully into it and I'm not really enjoying the story as much as I expected. Still think this is really cute. I still enjoy Talia Hibbert's writing enough to possibly pick up the second one in the series, so really looking forward to that. But yeah, gave this a 3 stars. I picked up The AI Who Loves Me, which is also written by Alyssa Cole. This book was probably my favorite of the week, even though I gave it a similar rating to this one and Punk 57, 3.5 stars. I think it is the romance book that has probably the trope I like the most, which is in studying an AI, or like following an AI basically, and them developing human characteristics, and like these discussions around, are they human, are they not? Love that shit. I could eat it up. I could read a book any day of the week about that. The reason I docked a star, because I definitely would have given this a 4 stars. It was like perfectly like romantic and steamy that I really enjoyed it. However, it has another trope that I absolutely despise. But you saw, as I named before, Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Lifelike by J. Kristoff. They have this, like, I guess you could say without spoiling really, it's like an Anastasia kind of love story. If you know, you know. So yeah, I don't like that. I think it's a really cheap plot device, and it ruined this novella for me. So gave it 3.5 stars. And like you saw before, Harvest of Sighs, 2 stars. That's my rating. Maybe we can rate them in how I enjoyed them, and then we can rate them in terms of smuttiness. So in 5th place, we have Harvest of Sighs, definitely bottom of the barrel. In 4th place, I'm gonna put Get a Life Chloe Brown, obviously, although technically it's like miles ahead of Harvest of Sighs, just keep that in mind. Then I'm gonna put in 3rd place A Duke by Default. So in 2nd place, I'll put Punk 57, and then in 1st place, I would put The AI Who Loved Me. Even though it had one of my least favorite tropes, it still had one of my best favorite tropes, and so thus it was the one I enjoyed the most this week. If we go in terms of smut, I would put Get a Life Chloe Brown last. I just feel like it didn't have a lot of smut. Then I would put A Duke by Default. Then I would put The AI Who Loved Me. Then I would put Harvest of Sighs, and then Punk 57 as like in terms of smut, which ones have the most smut. So if you're just looking for like erotica, this is what you will get from this list. Harvest of Sighs is nothing but sex, and the quality in plot, I think, has gone down drastically because of it. There you go. That was my week. These were the books I read for Valentine's Day, which fucking sucks because I didn't find a favorite, but you know, you live and you learn. I'm just diving into the world of romance reads right now. So eventually I will like figure out my tastes, figure out what kind of books I like, and take it from there. And you guys will be along on this journey because I'll probably vlog every time I read it because it's a big deal. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell if you want to see more content from me, because it makes me feel super good. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books. Did you like them? Did you hate them? Let me know down below. Let's have a discussion about it. I don't know how to end these things, so I guess I will see you next time. Bye!